Will the Texans be looking in the mirror on Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work, work. That's what you say. Hard work, work, work. Earn my pay. Hard work, do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of quarter to three. Hard work, work. Let me go and earn my pay. Hard work, work. Boots on and lace.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? You tuned to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Because you know we do everything for the gram. And make sure you subscribe to the Locked On Texans podcast and to the Locked On Texans YouTube page. Okay, here we go. I got it right. Okay, for those of y'all who, I had some technical difficulties getting myself started this morning. I was on for like 5 minutes, and then realized I had messed up, and I was like, wait a minute, something ain't right. Something just ain't right. I got to get this thing together. All right. What's going on, Marcus? What's good? What's going on, HD? Right? Me too. I was like, hey man, what the hell going on? I didn't have everything together. I did not have it together. I'm gonna be honest with you. I started drinking after the Texas loss. Oh man. No. Now drinking and partying after Thanksgiving. All right. Listen. Once again, you tuned to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Y'all know how we do it here. Before we even get started talking about sports, I be having questions, right? I be having questions, comments, concerns that I need to ask the rest of the Big Sarge family. I got to ask y'all something. So, hey, so can we talk about spouses have or significant others having passwords? Can we talk about that? Because it's weird to me, right? It's weird to me. And I know y'all just heard me say it, but I got to say it again. Like, that's a trust issue, right? That's a trust issue if you and your spouse share passwords because y'all want to go, or significant other because y'all want to go on each other's phones. Not have the password just in case something happened. Look, like I said before, what's up, D Skills? Hold on for a second. Just like I said earlier, like I've been married twice. My late wife, when she passed away, I was just like, well, I don't know how to get in the phone. I never had the password. I can't get in the phone. I don't know the password. So that's just what happened. Hold on. What's going on, AD? Y'all had a good show last night, man, for what I call. Hey, did Steven Nelson put a helmet on? Did he put a helmet on and continue to break down plays? Good Lord. But like for those of you all who share your passwords with your significant others because y'all want to go on their phones, hey, drop it in the comments. Let me know why. That's not a trust issue. That's not a trust issue. Like for me, like my wife now, if something happened to her, God forbid it doesn't, knock on wood, like I don't know how to get in her phone. I have not a clue on how to get into her phone at all, period. And I think if something happened to me, she wouldn't know how to get into my phone. I don't know. We don't ever just share passwords like that when it comes to the phone. And like, I don't know. I don't have trust issues like that though. I don't need to look in her phone to think she's doing something. And I mean, but if I ask to look in the phone, she'd probably be like, go ahead. Just like if she asks to look in my phone, I'll be like, go ahead. But I'm like, we don't share passwords. Let me tell you all something. My wife's phone could be ringing next to me, and she could be in the kitchen. You know what I'm gonna say? Hey, your phone ringing. You think I'm gonna pick it up and answer it? Hell no. I'm not even gonna look at who calling. Hey, your phone ringing. You know, that's the equivalent to back in the day when I was younger. You don't go in nobody. Hey, you better not go in no woman purse. I don't care who she is to you. When she say, "Hey, can you get something out of my purse?" Be like, take the purse to her. Hey, no, here go your purse. You get it out your own purse. I am not going in your purse. Just like I'm not going in your phone. No way, no how. We're not doing that. That's what we're not gonna do. What we're not gonna do is go through each other's phones for trust issues. Now, if you got to get in my phone for something, if it's an emergency or something, then by all means, hey, here go the password. If you want to get in my phone just to get in my phone, and I get it, don't get me wrong. I understand. Some of y'all get y'all phones checked because y'all done got busted doing some stuff. I got it. I got it. Some of y'all get y'all phones gone. You get your phone uh gone through your files and your IGs and your social medias and your text messages, your pictures. Like you get that thing, you get those things gone through by your significant other because you didn't got caught cheating. But I guess that brings me to another question. Like, if you got to do all that, why stay with them? I honestly and truly don't understand. Like, if you got to do all of that, why even stay with them? Just go ahead and be like, I'm good. No, I'm good. Hold on, let me see. My wife has my email, password, stuff like that, but not the phone. If I pass, she could get everything she needs out of the email. All right, I can see that. I ain't married. My sister has the passcode to my phone. Lucky for me, she lives in Colorado. You know what I think? Maybe I should, maybe I should. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Just in case something happens to me. But I'm just like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand it. And if you got to go through somebody's phone, why are you putting yourself through that much stress and that much trauma, that much drama? That's the one thing that I cannot understand. Like, hey, I'm just gonna go through your phone because I caught you cheating, and I want to see if you still cheating. What? Nah, I'm good. Hey, look, this thing ain't gonna work out for us. I love you. You love me, but we can't be together because I got trust issues now. I can't do it. I got trust issues. I can't do it. Hold on. I ain't got nothing to hide. I did all my dirt before I got married after living that military lifestyle. Oh, wait, take. Hold on. One day, maybe tomorrow when I'm doing a Thanksgiving show that may not even have anything to do with sports. Hey, we got to talk about this. We got to talk. A lot of people don't understand that military lifestyle. And if you African American male and you get sent to another country where they love African American males, it's gonna be a long day. I'm not gonna even lie. I've seen many marriages dissolve in Germany. Ooh, I see many dissolve. We're gonna talk about that one day. What's up, Larry? Good morning to you. Dan Jones sounds the Vikings practice squad. Oh wow. I got somebody I know that play for the Vikings. I'm gonna ask him about. Hey, that was a great show last night, AD, for what I caught. It was beautiful. And yes, sir, I'm a brother that went to Korea, so I know what you mean. I was in Germany, Europe. I'm joining the military right now and get shipped straight to Germany. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. The women in Europe, in certain parts, let me not say all of Europe, but certain parts of Europe, they love melanated men. That's all I'm gonna say. I digress. Hey man, if she need to get in your phone because she don't trust you, then oh well. Hold on. I held it down for the states while you guys. Hey, look, hey, take it, Tay. Hey, Tay. One day we're gonna talk about how them dirty Macs who stayed home while everybody else was on deployment. who stayed back while everybody was on deployment. Real quick, let me tell you this story, and then I promise we're gonna jump into some sports. So, Fort Bragg in North Carolina, they're on a rotation. They're kind of like Fort Hood. Fort Hood, they deploy constantly. Constantly. You get if you get stationed at Fort no, not the Dirty Backs, the Dirty Max. What's good, Joseph Goodrich? Hey, look, the Dirty Max, right? In Fort Hood, you get stationed at Fort Hood, you might as well go ahead and get ready to deploy because you're going to deploy. They turn deployments out. Hey, you gone. Get there, in processing. Hey, just know, hey, in 6 months, we're gonna be out of here. Right? So they just constantly deploy at Fort Hood, right? Fort Bragg is like that as well. You get stationed at Fort Bragg, airborne, all that, you gone. You finna be deployed. So they did a story years ago about how much cheating was going on. How much cheating was going on. Hold on for a second. Thank you for your service, Joseph. They did an article and had some social media posts uh around about the early to mid 2000s about cheating going on in Fort Bragg. And this is how a military spouse, because there are some male military spouses, which one day we'll talk about that too. Tay, hey Tay, can we make sure we writing this stuff down? So you got your green pad with you? You got your green pad and and something to copy with? Hey, get ready to copy. You ready to copy, Tay? We're gonna talk about being stationed overseas. We're gonna talk about uh these deployments, and we're gonna talk about male military spouses. Y'all know what? Hey, y'all give me a second. I gotta write this down. Male military spouses. Uh hold on. Overseas duty station. Oh, I gotta talk about these. Overseas. Oh, and deployment booze. All right. So look, I got time today. Appreciate it, Tay. So look, one day we're gonna talk about male military spouses, overseas duty stations, and deployment booze. Now, when I say deployment booze, I'm talking about, it'd be a lot of stuff going on during deployments. Hey, you get deployed, you got your wedding ring on. By the time you get there, your wedding ring is off, and you looking for, especially if you if you deployed with other military branch, other military services, like if you in the army and you deploy with the Air Force, you might get you a military boo. I didn't have no military boo because I was scared of my late wife because she was left-handed. She boxed left-handed and she swing left-handed, and that's awkward to me. So I ain't trying to get into no fight with her. But back to what I was saying real quickly. So at Fort Bragg, they did a story about how these military spouses would let you know if their spouse was on deployment and they was ready to cheat. They were setting the brooms upside down on the porches. So you know how a broom is. You got the broom handle and you got the bottom of the broom. They were turning the brooms upside down, setting them on the front porch to let you know that their spouse was deployed and they were looking to have a boo while their spouse was gone. A lot of the locals took advantage of that too, as far as some military personnel as well. Yeah. It's a rough time for people over at Fort Bragg. And like literally, they were letting people know my husband or my wife is gone. I'm ready to mingle. This was way before you were swiping right and swiping left. This is way before online dating was really prevalent. This was during a time where I don't even think Christian Mingle, Sarge, please, Sarge, you're 15 minutes into this show and you done talked about 4, 5 different things that you definitely need to talk. You know what? I gotta write this down too. Christian Mingle is worse than Tinder. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know the online dating site Christian Mingle is worse than Tinder, right? Church is nothing but people looking to hook up and repent. Let's go ahead and talk some sports because all these topics right here we're gonna discuss this in 2025 when I start doing Patreon and do the Buzz and Petty. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what we got going on here. All right. Let's get to some sports. Oh my God. I did not expect this to turn into Buzz and Petty. I might say that for the Thanksgiving show. All right. So once again, you tune to the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Look, you see in the title, will the Texans be looking in the mirror Sunday? Looking in the mirror on Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? So church is more filthy than the club. Bro, AD, hey, please tell me you gonna subscribe to my Patreon once I start. It ain't gonna be expensive. It's not gonna be the Buzz and Petty. I'm telling you, it won't be expensive at all. But I'm be super buzzed, super petty, and super ratchet. Like it's not gonna be expensive, but it's gonna be well worth the $5 to $7 a month. It's gonna be like, look, I don't want to do over $10 a month. I don't want to do over $10 a month. I'm gonna do like 5, 7. Hey, look, I know 2 people that just got married from the church I used to go. You know what? Or the Texans gonna be looking in the mirror on Sunday, right? So here's the thing. In 2023, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars started the season 6-2 before their bye week. They were one of the hottest teams, like very hot, like very, very, very hot last season. The Jacksonville Jaguars were, they had Super Bowl aspirations. Like you was looking at them, you was like at least AFC Championship game. Like you're looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars and the start that they got on, that they started out on 6-2 in 8 weeks before the bye weeks. It had some pretty good wins in there too. So you're looking at them and you're saying, when they went into the bye week, you was like, oh yeah, so looking at a pretty much like are the Jags going to knock off the Kansas City Chiefs as one of the best teams in 2023? Look at it and say, wow, going into the bye week, they're 6-2. Coming out of the bye week, oh man, they got this. They got this. Hey, no possible way the Houston Texans can win the AFC South. No possible way the Indianapolis Colts can win the AFC South. No possible way the Tennessee Titans can win the AFC South. The Jacksonville Jaguars are too hot. They're 6-2. They're hot. Nobody's going to beat them. Nobody's going to beat them, right? Heading into the bye week, Doug Peterson, was riding his high horse. Could be the second team that he leads to a Super Bowl. Remember, he led the Philadelphia Eagles to a Super Bowl. They beat the Patriots, right, in the Super Bowl. So you're saying to yourself, hey, man, that's a hot team. It's a very hot team. And then the bye week happened. And so I don't know if during the bye week, all of a sudden they forgot how to play football. Like all of a sudden, Jacksonville forgot how to play football after going 6-2 after 6-2 in the first 8 weeks of the NFL season. After that, after the bye week, they went 3-6. Started 6-2, ended up going 3-6, missed the playoffs, lost the AFC South title on in their last game of the season. They lost to a Tennessee Titans team that probably couldn't beat Vanderbilt that year. They lost to a Tennessee Titans team that couldn't beat Purdue. They lost to a Tennessee Titans team that lost to they did lose to the Driscoll Cat too, though, didn't they? But they lost to a team. They lost to a Houston, Texas team where Case Keenum started and Davis Mills got some run. Like, that Titans team was terrible. Like, you think they bad this year? They was bad last year too. And a lot of people wanted to give give the Jacksonville Jaguars the title already. They want to crown them prematurely and say, hey, here you go. You 6-2 in 8 weeks. It ain't too many other teams doing what you're doing. They're putting them up there with the likes of the Buffaloes. They're putting them up there with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Baltimore Ravens. In the AFC is what I'm talking about. Then they're saying, like, hey, so who are they going to play? Pretty much probably going to play, either the Eagles. Is this going to be a rematch for Doug Peterson going up against his former team? Going up against his former team in the Philadelphia Eagles? If Jacksonville, makes it to the Super Bowl, or are they going to play the 49ers? Right? You looked at it and you're saying to yourself, hey, man, them people got a point after 8 weeks. And then afterwards, they went 3-6, missed the playoffs, and lost the AFC South title. You know who got those spots? The Houston Texans. The Houston Texans won the AFC in 2023, AFC South title in 2023. They made it to the playoffs. They won a wild card game, lost in the divisional round against the Baltimore Ravens. Which, side note, like, one day we're going to have a discussion on that. The Houston Texans team exceeded expectations last year, but they had a lot of help. We're talking about some of it right now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, and you remember on Tuesday's show, on the Happy Hour show, we talked about the bar being raised for CJ Stroud and everything that they were trying to that they looks like they're putting on him, and that Houston Texans team coming into this season had that bar raised high. But if you go back and you look at it, they were a team coming out of 3 years of turmoil with the Deshaun Watson fiasco, with the David Culley fiasco, with the Lovie Smith fiasco. And if you go back and you really break it down, and we will probably before the end of this season, you go back and you look and you say to yourself, in week 18, they were a 4th down call away from not making the playoffs. We remember how the Indianapolis Colts game ended. They were a Gardner Minshew pass away from not making the playoffs. They were Jacksonville Jaguars victory away from not being AFC South champions. And this is no knock at you, Texans fans. I'm not here to shoot at y'all today, and I'm talking about figuratively, not literally. I'm not here to shoot at Houston Texans fans. What I'm saying is that you go back, and once you actually sit down and look at it, you said there was still a lot of work that needed to be done for the Houston Texans team. They did overachieve on last year, and so with that being said, they're heading into Jacksonville this week. And could they possibly be looking in the mirror? Now, I don't think that they're going to have the total collapse just because of the amount of games that they've actually won in the conference and the lead that they have. The only team that could catch them is the Indianapolis Colts, and they swept the Colts this year. So even if they finish tied at 9-8, which could possibly happen, both teams could finish at 9-8 this year. But because the Houston Texans have the tiebreaker, because they did sweep the Indianapolis Colts, then the Texans would win the AFC South. The Texans would still win the AFC South. And so when I say will the Texans be looking in the mirror against the Jacksonville Jaguars coming into on Sunday's game, you got to take a look at it. And I'm not talking about from an epic collapse, but it could be a collapse. It may not be the epic collapse that the Jags had because, like I said, the Colts can't catch the Texans would have to lose every game, and the Colts would have to win every game in order for them to be there. And I don't think that that's going to happen. Hold on, somewhere I thought I had it. Yeah, I thought I had it right here because the remaining games for the Houston Texans, they play the Jacksonville Jaguars this Sunday. Then they have a bye. Then they play Miami, Kansas City, Baltimore, and Tennessee. The Colts have New England, Denver, Tennessee, New York Giants, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't see the Colts being able to go to win all four of these games. One, two, yeah, because I think them and Houston have the same bye week. I don't see them winning all four of these games to go. Wait, 1, 2, 3. No, winning all five of those games, excuse me, because they're 5-7 right now. I can't see the Colts going 5-7 and being 10-7 at the end of the year, and the Texans not winning a game for the rest of the season. That's just not going to happen. So they're not going to have the epic collapse that they won't have the epic collapse that the Jacksonville Jaguars had, but they got the Jags. And let me sit myself up because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this whole thing this shift is about to change. I know y'all getting ready for the holidays. I know y'all like Sarge. I'm trying to just, calm myself down. I'm at work right now, and I'm not really working. I'm not gonna work the rest of the day. They had me come in. I got to be here for a little while. So Sarge, don't get to doing all that hollering. Don't get to doing all that hollering that you be doing. I'm sorry. You're gonna get this energy today. You're gonna get this energy today. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I decided to talk about this. Let me tell you why I'm going to talk to you more about how the Houston Texans can actually have a collapse this year. Not as epic as the Jacksonville Jaguars did last year, but a collapse pretty much the same. The only thing that I don't think the Texans not going to miss the playoffs, and they're not going to lose the AFC South. But they could have an epic collapse as far as the way that they're playing and rolling into the playoffs. They could lose a playoff game. They could lose that wild card playoff game playing the way that they're playing now. They're 7-5. They're 7-5 right now. And you would look and you would say, well, they got the Jags to play this week, so they should go in there and they should beat the Jags. But are they? Like, I know that they're favorites to win the game. Hell, they was favorites to win the Tennessee Titans game. They were favorites to win the New York Jets game. Are they really going to win? And if they do, what does it prove? Nothing. If you're not showing nothing in the second half. You know what I told my co-host on the Locked On Texans podcast, John Hickman? He said, what is it going to take? And this is on the latest episode, so y'all go listen to that. He said, what is it going to take for you to be impressed by the Houston Texans against Jacksonville? Like, what is going to have you running to Twitter and just burning up Twitter, and you can't wait to get back here on Monday to talk about it? And I did this. Now, do y'all know why y'all know why that's so epic, right? Y'all remember, I forgot who it was talking trash to Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant was sitting in I think John said it was Klay Thompson. It was somebody talking trash to Kobe Bryant, and Kobe Bryant didn't even say nothing. He just did like this. To signify that he had 5 rings, to signify that he had 5 championships, to signify, hey, Stop talking to me, because this how many rings I got. This many. Stop talking to me. So when I do like this, you want to know what's going to what will impress me on Sunday in the Texans versus the Jags game? See this, what I'm holding up? CJ needs to throw for 5 touchdowns. You want to impress me? You want to impress Big Sarge? You got to throw for 5 touchdowns. 2 to Nico, 1 to Tank, 1 to Dalton, and 1 to Mechie. That's 5, right? Hold on, y'all. Let me get my cuz. So, you got to use the Pythagorean theorem, Sarge. So, E equals MC squared, but the radius of a triangle and an obtuse object is, okay, hold on. A squared plus B squared plus C squared is, all right. So I'm just making sure I got this right. I got to make sure I got this right. Okay. So yeah. So 2 to Nico, 1 to Tank, 1 to Schultz, and 1 to Mechie. That's what I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 touchdowns will impress me and say, all right, okay, even though it's against Jacksonville, hey, maybe that'll be the game that'll help him shake out of his funk. And since we're still talking a little basketball here, hey, a player who's going through a slump say, all I need to do is see 1 go through the hoop, and now I'm ready. Once I see 1 go through the net, I'm ready. So yeah, I need to see that. I need to see 5 touchdown passes from CJ Stroud. That's what I need to see. And I need 3 of those to come in the second half. I need 3 of those touchdowns to come in the second half if you want to impress me. Now, other than that, I'm not going to be impressed unless Will has a 3-4 sack game. If Danielle Hunter has another 3-4 sack game, if Derek Stingley get 2 touchdowns, like that's going to impress me. The defensive side of the ball will impress me. The offensive side of the ball, that's what you got to do. But going into the game against the New York Jets, did you or did you not think, oh, this should be an easy game for the Houston Texans? The Jets only won 2 games. They were on a 5-game losing streak. They lost 5 of them things. And the Texans lost. Tennessee had won 2 games the entire season. 2. And the Texans lost to them. So, I don't even know you know what? Y'all know how we do it here. I ain't just finna speak blindly out of my butt. Let me go look. Y'all know how many games Jacksonville has won? Y'all know how many games Jacksonville has won? I don't know what it is about these. Because I think, how many games had New York won when the Texans played them? 2. How many games Tennessee won when the Texans played them? 2. You know how many wins Jacksonville has? 2. And at 2-9, nobody can definitively say, oh, the Texans going to win this game and blow them out. Nobody. You can't say that because you don't know. So now, let's just say you happen to lose to the Jags. You get the bye week, and then you come out, and you got to play Miami, Kansas City, and Baltimore in a 10-day stretch. You end the season with Tennessee, but in 10 days, 10 days, you have to play Miami Dolphins, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Baltimore Ravens. Hell, the Texans are having trouble sometimes winning games when they have 10 days off, 7 days off. Like when they get a week off, and you expect, how many of those games you expect them to win? At best 2. They should beat Miami. And I think that if they play to the level of the talent that they're going against, then they can beat either Kansas City or Baltimore. Like I'm not. I'm going to call it. They're not going to go 0-3 in that stretch. Oh, my bad. Hey, this my guy, Larry. Larry's my guy. No, I said that the only way that I'm going to be impressed by the Texans is if CJ throws 5 touchdowns, 3 of those coming in the second half against Jacksonville. But getting back to this. So let's just say they lose to the Jags. Now they got 4 games left against Miami, Kansas City, Baltimore, and Tennessee. Now, how many of those games you expect them to win? What if they go 1-3 in those last 4 games? 2-3 in their last 5 games. Now you're barely making it into the playoffs. You got a wild card game that you're gonna host at home because you won the AFC South. Who are you playing though? Because some of these teams are getting hot at the right time. And then you want to have a rematch with Baltimore? You want to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers? Hell, the Chargers may even be a hard out, which, side note though, boy, that video they did about Quentin Johnston, I don't understand how he just cannot catch. It looks like he can't catch anymore. Like, it just looks like he can't catch anymore. I digress. The Houston Texans, and it's sad. It's sad to say this because coming into this season, we didn't expect to be here. And when I say we, I'm talking about the media members and the fans. We didn't expect to be here hoping and wishing and praying that the Houston Texans would beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. We did not. We did not expect to be wondering if the Texans would be able to beat a 2-9 Jags, if the Texans would be able to beat a 2-8 Tennessee Titans team, if the Texans would be able to beat a team like the New York Jets, who are on a 5-game losing streak. Now the uncertainty of how they're going to finish the season comes in. Now, I would love to sit here. I would love to sit here and say, no, man, I got faith in the Texans, and I have faith that in the last 5 games they can go 3-2 or 4-1, with their only loss coming to at least Kansas City or Baltimore, one of those, but they can go 4-1. And like, I feel they can beat the Jags. I feel that they could beat Miami. I feel that they could split one of those games between Kansas City and Baltimore. And I think that the rematch with the Titans, they could win that. So they could possibly go 4-1 in their last 5 games and end the season at 11-6. That could happen. That could possibly happen. And even with that being said, that's still a win for the Houston Texans. That's still a win for the Houston Texans. Because, on a side note, there has been a lot of adversity. We talked about this on Tuesday. There's been a lot of adversity that has gone on with the Houston Texans as far as injuries are concerned. They're dealing with injuries again on the defensive side of the ball, but there's been a lot of injuries. And we know in the NFL, the team that wins is the team that stays the healthiest. The healthiest team rolling into the playoffs is the team that's going to win. So the Texans have dealt with a lot of injuries this year. They've dealt with a lot of adversity, and that's nothing that those are facts. You can't overlook those. You can't just push past those. Those are facts. That's a fact. They've dealt with a lot of injuries to key players. Losing Nico for 5 weeks, that's huge. Losing Stephon Diggs for the entire for the rest of the season is huge. Losing Jalen Petrie for these next couple of weeks, that's huge. You lost 2 players to suspension. You didn't have Danico Autry for the first 6 games, and then you lost Mario Edwards. So Azeez Al-Shaair was hurt. Will Anderson Jr. was hurt. Jimmy Ward was hurt. Like, you've had some players. Tank has been hurt. Joe Mixon has been hurt. Like, we cannot just look back on the season and just say, no, the Texans sucked because they suck. No, you can't look at that. You can't say it that way. If they were fully healthy, I would be like, yeah. They they were fully healthy, losing these games the way that they are and playing the way they are, I'd be like, yeah, they trash. I would tell you that. When I look at the San Francisco 49ers, as a Cowboys fan, I delight in everything that's happening to the San Francisco 49ers. Not watching them win a game is my joy. I love it. I can't stand the 49ers at all. Period. Point blank. Nope. Nope. No way. No how. And my best friend is on here right now. My best friend is on here right now. Diehard San Francisco 49ers fan. And he'll tell you, I can't stand the 49ers. Just like he can't stand the Cowboys. But I'm not going to be an idiot. I'm not going to be an idiot and sit here and say that the 49ers haven't been good this season because they just suck. Like, they're one of the teams that has been hit by the injury bug a lot too. They've went through multiple injuries, just like the Houston Texans have. And so I'm not going to sit here and say that the San Francisco 49ers are not a good team when they're fully healthy. When they're fully healthy, they're a good team. What we're seeing from them now, the injuries has taken its toll. Just like the injuries has taken its toll during some of the season for the Houston Texans. So we got to keep it real here. But what they can't have, what they cannot have, is an epic collapse. And let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. If they have an epic collapse, right? It's gonna be some. Well, there's gonna be some changes y'all not gonna be. Some of y'all not gonna be ready for. Some of y'all not gonna be able to see coming. And I'm gonna say, sheesh. They gotta win. They gotta win, and they gotta win impressively. And another thing, one of the reasons why, and it's crazy. This is gonna sound crazy to y'all, so just stick with me. And no, I haven't been drinking. Hey, Marcus, can I get a drink? Maybe I should have did this yesterday when we was drinking at happy hour, right? And maybe I should have did this during happy hour. I'm gonna say this, right? Coming out of the 3 years, right? Coming out of the 3 years of turmoil that we talked about earlier with the Houston Texans. Coming out of those, that the Bill O'Brien debacle, the Deshaun Watson debacle, David Culley, Lovie Smith. Coming out of those 3 years. In that 4th year, the Houston Texans hired DeMeco Ryans. The Houston Texans drafted C.J. Stroud. The Houston Texans drafted Will Anderson Jr. The Houston Texans drafted Tank Dell. They put together a team that was supposed to just bring them out of that toxic environment, that toxic situation, that toxicity that was dwelling, right? We talked about this before. It was dwelling. So that team last season super duper overachieved, right? Now here's the tricky part. They overachieved because what they did last season, especially what they did the 3 seasons prior. The sad part about it is, by them overachieving like that, instead of the clock ticking on the rebuild, I'm sorry, not the clock ticking. The clock for the rebuild sped up. Because of what they did in 2023, the clock for the Houston Texans sped up. Normally, if they would have came out and they would have went 8-9 last year, you'd be like, cool. They went 8-9. That's okay. We can see some improvement. We can see where we're going. What do we need to do to keep this team rolling, to keep this thing right? But when they did what they did last year by overachieving like they did, that rebuild clock sped up. Not only did that rebuild clock speed up, the window for winning, the window for winning went from being here to being just barely open, cracked open. Now that thing is fully wide open, right? Now that window is here. But that window is only here for as long as they got CJ under contract. For as long as they got CJ under that rookie contract. For as long as they got Will under that rookie contract. Of course, we know they're going to have to pay Derek Stingley here soon. Jalen Petrie is going to be coming up for a new contract. But that window, the real window that's open, that's right now that they've got to win, that they could still add talent, like it's right here now. Because it went from a crack to being wide open, right? So now you got to win because every year they get closer to having to getting ready to sign CJ and getting ready to sign Will. It's going to go like this. And by the time it's time to pay CJ and by the time it's time to pay Will, that window that's open right now for them to win right now, it's going to be like this because you're going to lose talent. So with the amount of talent that you have right now and with the way that you can still manipulate the salary cap, listen, by the time it's time for CJ to get paid, they're giving Dak Prescott $60 million a year up in Dallas at the quarterback position. How much y'all think it's going to be when it's time to pay CJ? If Dak can get 60, how much you think CJ about to get? And if the Texans don't want to give it to him, somebody's going to give it to him. Hell, by the time it's time to pay CJ, he may be making $85, $90 million a year. Somebody said CJ can get 70. No, I think CJ going to get like 80, 85. And if you know his agent, they're going to shoot for 85. On top of having to look to pay Will Anderson. So now you're going to pay those two. And then now you're going to be looking like the Cowboys. The Cowboys got all their money tied up in CeeDee Lamb they got their money tied up in CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. So you tie your money up with Will Anderson Jr., Derek Stingley, Will Anderson Jr., CJ. But you still got these other players that need to get paid too. And then how much money is going to be left? And so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that these wasted opportunities against the New York Jets, these wasted opportunities against the Tennessee Titans, those are wasted opportunities. The wasted opportunity to defeat the Lions. Like the window is here. So this is the time frame. The window is open. You have pretty much everything you need to win. But every year after this year, well, hell, every year after the rookie year of CJ Stroud, where they set the window went from being here to here, every year that thing is closing. And then what? You don't want to waste those years and those talent because this is what they should have done. Like what? If anything, the Houston Texans should look at what happened to the Dallas Cowboys and say, we don't want to be in that position. The Dallas Cowboys really didn't do anything when Dak was on his rookie contract, and that's why they are where they are right now. This rookie contract that CJ is on, this rookie contract that Will Anderson Jr. is on, the Texans got to take advantage of that. But that window is not going to be this wide open for long with the amount of talent that you have on both sides of the ball. So you got to win right now. That's why the losses to the Jets and the Titans and the Lions, that's why those hurt so much. Because we're looking at a team right now that's 10-5, that's 7-5, that we know with just those 3 games, right? You take away 3 of those losses, you take away 3 of those losses, now they're 10-2. They shouldn't have lost to the Packers. That was a terrible loss. We talked about this on multiple occasions. The only team that really just outright destroyed the Houston Texans this season is the Minnesota Vikings. When you look at those other 4 losses that the Houston Texans have with the Packers, they should have won that game. The Lions, they should have won that game. The Jets, they should have won that game. And the Titans, they should have won that game. You can't afford to squander these type of wins when you're trying to reach the ultimate goal, and that's to win a Super Bowl or at least get to a Super Bowl. Because you get to an AFC Championship, you get to a Super Bowl, you still got CJ on his rookie contract. Now you can get some of those other free agents and bring them in and give them a 3-year deal. That's some of them, not all of them, not the big names. But you can get some of that until it's time to mix and match and move the money around. But with this talent that they have right now, I that's what makes these losses so heartbreaking. That's what makes these losses so heartbreaking because that window is going to close. So you can't be the 2023 version of Jacksonville. You can't have the epic collapse and go 1-4 in your last 5 games. You can't do that. You can't lose to a Jacksonville Jaguars team that only has 2 wins on the season. You got to beat them. You have the amount of talent, excuse me. You have the amount of talent. You have everything that you need to beat Jacksonville. You have everything that you need to beat Miami. You have everything that you need to split with either Baltimore with the Baltimore or Kansas City. You got everything that you need to beat those 2 teams. One of them, at least. And then you have everything that you need to go up to Tennessee and win. So, for just as much as they could be 2-3 in their last 5 games, the Houston Texans can also be 4-1. And I don't doubt this team. I don't doubt this team. I don't doubt the talent, the team, the coaching as far as head coach DeMeco Ryans is concerned, and the way that he always has his team prepared. I don't doubt. I don't have any doubt in what Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter is going to do, what Derek Stingley is going to do, what Azeez Al-Shaair is going to do, what Tim Settle Jr. I don't have any doubt on what they can do. They just have to do it. And I don't think that they're going to stay in the funk that they've been in. Like, the Houston Texans could easily get hot at the end of the season, and that's all you got to do. Y'all know, I think what was that? The year the New York Giants won their Super Bowl. Which one did they win? Oh, I'm trying to think. Wait, somebody put it in the comments. AD, you be knowing this right off the top of your head. Hey, what year was it that the Giants won the Super Bowl as a wild card? Came into the playoffs as a wild card, and they won the Super Bowl that year. Because if I'm not mistaken, that's the year I think the Cowboys had won like 14 games. Then Tony Romo and Jason Witten decided to go to Cabo. Then they came back and they lost to the Giants. Like, that's the year that they were the wild cards, right? So it can be done from a wild card position. If I'm not mistaken, there's been other teams that have been wild cards that have come back and won the Super Bowl. So it's just all about when you get hot. And maybe the Texans can get hot. But if they're going to do that, it has to start in Jacksonville this weekend. It has to start in Jacksonville and carry over coming out of the bye against Miami and roll over into the Kansas City game and continue in Baltimore, and then let it be a revenge game against the Tennessee Titans. Get yourself back on track. Get yourself back on track. You do not want your name synonymous to the 2023 Jacksonville team. And they haven't recovered. They haven't recovered from that epic collapse on last year. And I'm surprised that more people haven't gotten fired from that Jacksonville team. And you're playing Jacksonville with a banged up Trevor Lawrence. But you also should have beat a quarterback who put mayonnaise in his coffee. And you also should have beat another quarterback who gave you 5 interceptions. And you also should have beat another quarterback who says that he likes to take ayahuasca and go sit in the dark, even though he had a nightlight. But, one of those guys who's lost touch with reality and saying, hey, man, if I decide to play in 2025, I think it should be with the Jets. And if I'm the Jets owner, I'm saying to myself, nah, we good over here, player. Hell, I think that the Jets would probably rather have Daniel Jones in 2025 than to have Aaron Rodgers back. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers is not a Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer, but that time has passed, my guy. Go be an analyst. Be a co-host of the Pat McAfee show. Go do something. Go sit in a mountain, on top of a mountain, with nothing but shorts and shorts on, no shirt, no shoes, no socks, and just sit there and reflect as you take in your whatever your vice is. Your time is past, my guy. It's just time to go. But the Texans should have beat Aaron Rodgers. The Texans should have beat Will Levis. The Texans should have beat Jared Goff. And hell, they should have beat Love as well. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me hop into these comments right quick. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Y'all know how we do it. Ooh, it's a lot. Yeah, I've been doing a lot. Look back on the track. Let me see. Here we go. The only difference with that comparison that our offense, with a few exceptions, have already forgotten how to play football long before the bye. You talking about between them and Jacksonville? uh my Texans has been playing with zero energy. They've been playing like they all high. I'm telling you, Joseph, one day we're gonna talk about this. One day we're gonna talk about that Colts game from 2023. Uh One major contributing factor is gonna show itself big in these last few games. We lose. Yep. What's up, Derek? Texas don't need no prep talk from their owners to beat the Jaguars, like we talked about yesterday against the Titans. Exactly. Kobe was hurt on the bench, and fans were heckling him when he did that five. Ah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Callahan and McNair have no business having a prep talk with them against the Jags and Jaguars. Exactly. Let me see. Well, so CJ really got to have a breakout 5 touchdown game. I would take 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a win. No, I need if you want to impress me, I need 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a win. You know what? I'll take 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a win. Now I'll be like, oh, okay. You say Mixon got to have at least 1 touchdown. Bro, if we lose to the Jags, forget the playoffs. Now you still gonna get there. What's up, Corey? What makes you think this team can beat Miami right now? Because I don't trust Tua. And I know, like I said, they've lost to quarterbacks that are probably just barely better than Tua. But I honestly and truly don't trust Tua. Like they have a lot of fast wide receivers, and Tua still looks like he just started playing football yesterday sometimes. Walmart wings sound good before Thanksgiving. Yeah, if you want a stomach ache. Texans are turning into the AFC version of the Steelers. Hard hitting, high powered defense and subpar. You know what? That's a good comparison. That is a good comparison because nobody really criticizes Mike Tomlin, aka Omar Epps. Nobody really talks about Mike Tomlin. Nobody really talks about the Steelers because they always say, well, look at his record, look at his record, look at his record. And I think that Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches, one of the best coaches to ever coach in the NFL, especially with his longevity. But if we go back, I mean, like when was the last time we really talked about the Steelers being good? I don't care about Mike Tomlin's record. I don't care that he's always 500 and above. Hell, Jeff Fisher was that way at one point. Jeff Fisher, former head coach of, didn't he coach the Oilers too? Was it the Oilers and the Titans, or was it just the Titans? Anyway, Jeff Fisher, Mr. 500, Mr. Subpar, Mr. Average, Mr. Right There, he was too. And Mike Tomlin, he is a Super Bowl winning coach. He has had his time at the top. He has had his time, on the top of the mountain of glory. I'm not taking that away from him, but it's been a long time since we talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers and them just being like, hey, man, they're one of the AFC favorites. Even right now with the record that they have, and we just watched them lose to Pastor Winston and the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, I called him Pastor Winston. Y'all know that man is having church. I'm surprised he ain't got a GoFundMe just to say that I'm building a church in Bessemer, Alabama, which is weird because he's from there, but D'Amico's from there as well. So is Gucci Mane and Bo Jackson. I digress. Nobody really talks about Mike Tomlin, and I don't want to say that the Pittsburgh Steelers have been mediocre, but I will say that it's been a long time since we had them as perennial favorites in the AFC. And he still just gets a pass every year. I don't want that for D'Amico. I want the longevity for him. I want the winning seasons for him. I want the Super Bowl championship for him. But I don't want him at the end of his career to be placed in the same category as Mike Tomlin. I would like to see him a little bit better than Mike Tomlin. And like I said, of course, I mean, the man just makes the playoffs. He doesn't have losing seasons, but when you won a Super Bowl title, you're looking like that's something you got to get back to. And that's the same way it is with Aaron Rodgers. We talked about Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's going to go down as a first ballot Hall of Famer. But if we're judging him over these last couple of years and the way he's played, and I know that they've given him NFL MVP, but still, that wasn't indicative of him. I mean, it wasn't. It didn't equate to him getting his team to where it needed to be while he was winning those NFL MVPs. And so, we'll look back on his career and say he won a Super Bowl and he does have a Hall of Fame career. Mike Tomlin has a Hall of Fame career, but at the end of the day, and you don't want D'Amico Ryans turning into that, or you don't want the Texans turning into that. Let me see. The Chargers are going to smoke this team at their current level of play. Yeah, the Chargers are good, but didn't they just lose Dobbins? They just lost Dobbins, right? How long is he out? This team that played last week does not beat the Chiefs or the Ravens or Miami. No, not that team. That team does not. HEB started a wing bar. Yeah, you're right. They got one in the Heights. I take our O-line over. I take their O-line over ours. I live out here in Annapolis. I also see it every week. Irritates as a Texas fan to see that. You out in Annapolis. You take whose offensive line? I missed that part. The Texans is a better position to succeed than last season's Texans. We'll see. We'll definitely see. Let me get to some more of these comments. It's to some more. I don't believe you. I don't believe you don't doubt them, Sarge. You sounded real doubty. How? Tell me how. They have the potential. When you have the potential, that means that there's no doubt. Like, there's some teams that I put like this. I, without a shadow of a doubt, I know that the Dallas Cowboys are not going to the playoffs, and they're set up for to be terrible for the rest of the 2000s, damn near. Not really, but really. Last season was alarming because even our defense let us down. Anderson and Hunter were on fire, though. This last loss, not last season, this last loss. Yep. Let me see. What's up, Sarah? So what is the JMax 713 asks? What is the energy level over there at NRG? What do you mean? Can you elaborate, JMac? Can you elaborate on that and give me a little bit more context of what you're looking for as far as that question is concerned? Oh, the Ravens. You're taking the Ravens O line over the Texans O line. Ravens do have a good O line. I would take the Ravens O line over the. I take the Ravens O line over the Texans O line, but I would take the Texans defense over the Ravens defense. Now, hold on, Joseph. I know that ain't what you asked. I know that ain't what you asked or what you not asked, but I know that ain't what you said. I got it. I just added that in there. And if you tell me, hey, sorry, shut the hell up, that's not what I said. I got. I'll take that. I receive that. I receive that. But you're right. Their offensive line is better. Shout out to Annapolis, man. One of the sports doctors out there at the Naval Academy, the head sports doctor out there, made sure that I was able to continue to walk after my 2 ankle surgeries that I had to have. What was your comment? I talked about them old dry ass Walmart wings, man. What are you talking about? Like, what is the energy behind the scenes? Like, are the players locked in comparison to last year? Because it feels like the vibes are off. No, they're definitely locked in. Let me tell you something. And this is the biggest misconception because I think I seen yesterday, uh, and I seen it 2 days in a row where someone was saying that they were sitting behind the Texans bench and they seen Laramie and Titus laughing about something, right? This is why I like being able to have the access that I have because I see behind the scenes. And this is one of the reasons why I stopped going back like 2.5 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I stopped going back and forth a lot on Twitter because I'm like, you're arguing, you're trying, excuse me, you're trying to debate me from a place of what you seen. I mean, I'm sorry, what you heard. I'm debating you on what I seen. Like you're trying to debate me based off of something that somebody else said on Twitter that you read. I'm telling you what I've seen and I've been in the building. That's not a flex, but that's a flex. And in 2025, them flexes are gonna come way more than they have in 2024. I'm going to flex and I don't give a damn who gets mad about it. But no, no. When you got a player that after a loss sits at his locker, don't want to talk to nobody, just stares at the ground during the entire time that the media is in the locker room, doesn't say a word, just sits there and just looks at his hands and just looks down at the ground, pissed off. This was after the Detroit Lions game. Just sit there, pissed off. When you got the person that's sitting next to him that won't say a word to him because he knows what he's going through, but then tells, well, I don't know who else he told me, hey, Sarge, this one sucks. And we got to take accountability for this. We got to take accountability. You heard D'Amico say on the coach coffee with coach or whatever. You heard him talk about how this one, normally you can just flush out a loss. You heard him say, no, this one gonna sit with me for a while. Sits with CJ for a while. Nico told me before he left out of the locker room Sunday, hey, this one stings. Like this one stings, Sarge. This one hurts. This one hurts. So no, there's a lot of players like that take that type of accountability on what they could have done better, and they take these losses hard. They don't point the finger. They don't point the blame. For as bad for as bad as games that Kenyon Green had when he was in the lineup. You know what Kenyon Green did? Stood there and took accountability. I got video. Hey, it's on me. I can't. It's on me. I gotta play better. I got benched about performance. I mean, I got benched because of performance. Like it's on me, Sarge. I played bad. I played terrible. And then they'll say something because their whole mindset is if I played terrible, because you got to win your one-on-ones. You got to win your one-on-ones. And when you don't win your one-on-ones, now you're letting your team down. And that's how they look at it. So no, the energy is definitely different. What did you mean by your tweet? Y'all remember where y'all heard that Gerard Johnson needs to share play calling duties first? Oh, because everybody, I seen some stuff. Everybody else is jumping on it now, talking about, oh man, maybe Gerard Johnson needs to do this, that, and other. And I was like, bro, I talked about that weeks ago. I was the first one that said, hey, maybe Bobby got too much on his plate, and let's see, and because of the relationship that Gerard has with CJ, maybe he could be the one to help CJ. Maybe that CJ needs another voice in his ear, or maybe Gerard needs to be the voice in his ear. Let Bobby go upstairs and give a place to Gerard. Let Gerard give him to CJ, or let Gerard have some of the play calling duties. So much to the point where I actually asked Coach D'Amico Ryans about that. I shared that with you all about asking about play calling duty. So that's what I meant, Sarah. There's a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon now. There's a lot of people coming here and listen to the stuff, and then they be, oh man, I'm gonna use that. I don't care what Sarah say. Hey, you gotta put it again, Corey, because I missed it. Them wings are fire, not dry. Yeah, Marcus, you just told me you was drunk though already. You say you drunk, you gonna be drunk through Sunday. So I don't believe you about these wings. Um, I think the Texans are going to get hot starting with Jacksonville. That could happen, Ernie. That definitely could happen. Uh, I haven't seen Juice take accountability, at least in the last interview. He does. He does. Sarah, I'm telling you that, but trust Sarge when I say that. Trust Sarge. He does. Do you see Bobby here for the foreseeable future as OC of the Texans? Uh, so do they go 5-0 in these last 4 games, get to the AFC Championship and lose, or get to the Super Bowl and lose? So he may not be here as the OC. He may get reassigned, and then if him getting reassigned causes him to want to go somewhere else, it's gonna take a lot for Bobby to be here as OC next season. A lot. Believe me when I say this. I don't hear your confidence in them to fix the fixables. I believe the Texans have beat themselves most time this year. Yep, me too. Me too. At this point, I feel Bobby got too much dip on his chip, and that Tostitos is breaking. Hey, I was laughing because Joe Budden said the same thing about Drake. Uh, they're not beating Kansas City. Kansas City in the Ravens. I don't know what that means, Sherman. Can you clear that up for me? Man, Corey, tell me what you said. I don't see it. Daniel Jones went to the Vikings because he's loved. Hey, that's cool. Kevin can't change him. Man, how does that line go? Dang it, give me a second. Because I need to quote the great Negro poet Jay-Z. Here we go. Here we go. Yes. So you remember on the Black Album, the public service announcement, you're saying Daniel Jones went to the Vikings because he loves Kevin O'Connell, the head coach. Hold on, let me give you the line from the great Negro poet, the bars from the great Negro poet, Jay-Z. Hold on. Here we go. I got a hustler spirit, N-word period. Check out my hat, yo. Peep the way I wear it. Check out my swag, yo. I walk like a ball player. No matter where you go, you are what you are, player. And you could try to change, but that's just the top layer. Man, you was who you was before you got here. Only God can judge me, so I'm gone. Either love me or leave me alone. That's my favorite. Like I knew I just had to find it because I didn't want to tell you the wrong thing. So Daniel Jones going to Minnesota and playing for Kevin O'Connell. Let me repeat what the great Negro poet Jay-Z said on the Black Album on public service announcement. He said, no matter where you go, you are what you are, player. And you could try to change it. That's just the top layer. Man, you was who you was before you got here. Daniel Jones, you was who you could try to change, but that's just the top layer. Man, you was who you was before you got here. Only God can judge me. So I'm gone. Either love me or leave me alone. Doom, 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 doom. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, y'all. Look who just showed up. We're an hour and 15 in. Alexis, where you been? Where you been, Alexis? Oh, you know what? My bad. You gotta get ready for Thanksgiving. All right, we'll give you a pass this time. Hey, y'all, we're gonna give Alexis a pass this time, right? Texas needs to listen to the Negro poet Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. How'd you know that's my favorite Michael Jackson song? I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make the change. You got to get it right for you got the no, you got to get it right while you got the time. Cause when you your mind, that man in the mirror. Oh yeah, I'm asking him to change his way. Huh? I gotta go. It's been a long day. All right, y'all. Hold on. Look who's Corey. Look at them now, Corey. Look at them. They showing up. Look at them now, Corey. Now they showing up. Y'all went to go see Moana 2? I ain't leaving till y'all went to go see Moana 2 or Gladiator 2? Yep. Corey. Hey, Corey, how come y'all didn't have a group chat yesterday? Cause Steven Nelson had you. Hey, Corey, did you see the rundown? Hey, look, shout out to AD and the H-Town rundown. Bro, Steven Nelson was in there breaking down plays with a helmet on. Steven Nelson had a helmet on. Kane San Miguel. That's Kane San Miguel. I don't want to mess your name up. Y'all know. Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. This is my first time seeing you. I don't like to mess people's names up, so that's why I ask. So it's Kane San. Tell me how to pronounce that. People on social media getting frustrated with how soft DeMeco seems at the podium. My thought is that Coach DeMeco is very different than Press DeMeco. What is your take? This is the crazy part about it. You're right. Like, Miguel, you are 124% correct. Press conference DeMeco is not the same as press conference DeMeco is not the same as non-press conference DeMeco. I'm telling you that from experience. I'm telling you that from DeMeco's whole thing is he's not going to give anybody bulletin board material. He's not going to give anybody an advantage against his team because they put these pressers on social media. So everybody else is watching too. And everybody's retweeting all that. So he's not going to give another team advantage, and he's not going to publicly throw any of his players or his coaches under the bus. He's never going to do that. You're never ever going to see him, no matter how bad a player plays, no matter how bad everything was. Look, we just got through talking about Steven Nelson. Even what him and Steven Nelson and everything that happened, he ain't throw Steven Nelson under the bus in a public platform. So no, he not gonna do that. So yes, he is different. I ain't putting that up there, Corey. We not disrespecting. Corey, you crazy. uh to do what, man? I'm gonna come back. I say he was ready to suit up. I believe it. Steven can still play. I'm waiting. I thought she was gonna tell us if she went to go see Moana 2 or Moana 2 or Gladiator 2. I think you know what? I think I'm going to the movies tonight. I think we're going to see Gladiator 2. Y'all hold on for a second. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can make a date while I'm on air. Hold on for a second, y'all. I'm gonna see if I can get this date for tonight. Hello, you're on live with on the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. How are you doing today? I was calling because to see if you had plans for tonight, and if not, maybe we could go see Gladiator 2. You get movie popcorn. Right. Do you have to help cook Thanksgiving before we go to your brother's? Wait, what is today? Wednesday? Today is Wednesday. So we can't go to the movies to see Gladiator 2? You think the little one wants to go too? She don't care. She just want movie popcorn too, right? Well, she probably got to do the cooking though. Would you like to say anything to the supporters of the Sports Talk with Big Star show while you're on live? Don't. Oh no, you better not say "Go Pack Go" either, dude. You better not say. You better not say no. I knew you because I know you. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just sitting there having this conversation. For those of you all who are listening, I am talking to my wife. She's at work. I just made a date to go see Gladiator 2 because I haven't seen it, but I heard it is the best. Oh, I gotta make sure that I have my phone on me though, because the Rockets play tonight too. So I'll be watching that and watching the movie. But hey, so is there anything else you want to say to them outside of Go Pack Go? Happy Thanksgiving, maybe? Thank you. I love you. I will call you later. Oh, hey, look, one more thing before you go. You know what? I started this show saying, and I want to get you, I'm gonna get your answer live on air right now. Do you think that it's a trust issue thing if spouses share their passwords to their phones? Not for emergency purposes only, but just so they can have to go on your phone. That's a trust issue. Right. Do we have passwords to each other's phones? Because we tell each other everything, right? Hey, y'all getting this. Hey, hold on. Y'all getting this in real time. Y'all listen. Y'all getting this in real time, and she not faking because she on air. That's what I said. I was like, yo, if you gotta, and if he cheated on you or she cheated on you, and you stayed with her, you still got to go through the phone. Then you might as well just leave, right? Wait. Did you say that's the same as having a what? If you I was like, hey, look, Mr. and Mrs. Sarge, I'd be like, well, who did that? You put my pictures on there, but you know what? I'll report it. It really exactly. Oh, it's a burn. Oh. So wait, hold on. Joint social media accounts or burner accounts for men or women to go look and see what the other man or woman is doing. Or hold on, wait. Let me not say that because I don't. I want to include same sex marriages as well. So it's for one significant other to go look at the other significant other's page and see what they doing lurking. Hey, we're gonna start. Hey, can we do we hey y'all getting this firsthand. This nobody has heard this before yet, but I'm saying this now while I'm on air. Hey, maybe we should do a joint account for our 2025 goals that we have. So people can look at our progress and what we're doing. Yeah. Mm-mm. It's like, hey, look, hey, Chris. It'd be like, hey, you think your husband cheating? What? This Negro calls me every day, all day at work. Hey, I'm leaving the house. I'm going to NRG. I'm leaving NRG. I'm going to Toyota Center. Hey, so what you doing? Working. Yeah. So, hey, you know what I did with the coffee? You're like, and you like, I know him. He ain't got enough energy to cheat. He be like, all I gotta do is put on a show. He be sleep. All right, I'll call you when I get ready to head over to NRG. All right, love you. Bye. Sorry. I don't know how. That's us though. That is us. That's how we are. We are that. So hold on. Let me see. Oh, that's your last name. Yes, Ime Udoka need to coach the Texans and the Rockets. No, hey, listen, they're the Spider-Man meme. Somebody use that stressings. I'm gonna talk to you, stressings, because you know I've been saying for a very, very, very long time. It's documented that the Houston Texans and the Houston Rockets are the Spider-Man meme. Hold on. You said my name right. My last name. Oh, your last name. Okay, just like San Antonio, San Diego, San Miguel. All right, Kane. My bad, man. Glad to have you here. Hope you come back. Yes, I am multitasking. I'm a Texas fan, but I'm not a Cowboys hater. Wouldn't be awesome to have a Texas Cowboys Super Bowl. Huh. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey man, I gotta work. I gotta work. Hold on. I had a question. Hopefully you can bring it up when you talk to Bobby. I'm not talking to Bobby. We won't talk to Bobby for two. Oh no, we're talking to Bobby too. What's today? I think we are talking to Bobby today. What's the question? Let me see if I can bring it up. Do you think he should maybe call plays from the box so you can have a better bird's eye view of the play? Street Runner Society. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Star Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me, DM me this question so I won't forget. I'm gonna try my best not to forget, but I will ask it if you remind me. You already know when there's a joint Facebook account. Corey, the only way you know that I'm blushing, that's how you look at them when they be putting out them fresh Walmart wings, huh? Or them, you be like, wait a minute, how fresh is that burrito right there? When you be at them gas stations, be like, 2 days? I'll take it. You gonna knock something off, right? Like, cause it ain't fresh, but it's fresh enough. You know, you be eating them fresh enough gas station burritos and hot dogs. Free game with Sarge. All right, y'all gotta get up out of here. The Texans got practice today, so I'm gonna be over there. Hey, keep your alerts on. Keep your alerts on. There may be a happy hour show. There may be a happy hour show because there's a topic, and I got it written down right here. Y'all see it about the Rockets are 13-6 in first place, but some of y'all are still mad at Ime Udoka, head coach of the Houston Rockets. We got to talk about that because I haven't been giving my Houston Rockets fans enough attention, and I'm going to do it. I give these Texas fans a lot of my attention. A lot. What's going on, Derek? I give them a lot of my attention. But I haven't been giving the Houston Rockets enough attention, and the Houston Rockets are playing good. They're in first place in their division. They're in first place. They're 13-6. And just like I talked about some of those losses that the Texans have had, some of the losses that some of those 6 losses, they should be like 16-3. Like no team has really just beat them, except the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, they could be 18-1. They could be like the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like no team has really just flat out beat them except Oklahoma City. We're gonna talk about that. We having drinks today. Hey, y'all. Hey, somebody bring me some good liquor. Bring some good liquor. All right. Thank you for joining the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Big Sarge Media. Follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because we do everything for the gram. And subscribe to the Locked On Texans podcast, please, and the Locked On Texans YouTube page. A lot of good stuff over there for you Texans fans. I'll see y'all this evening for happy hour. Big Sarge, I'm out.
Hard work.